They have confused you. They've scared the pants off of you. And the degrading of women at the hands of men is one of the deepest crimes of mankind. When I'm looking at you and you sitting in here, women sitting in here, I am saying the degrading of women at the hands of men, preachers, popes, rabbis, evangelists, priests of all sorts is one of the most heinous crimes ever perpetuated against any creation that God made. Done intentionally and ignorantly because people have translated the Bible literally. Because I'll show you what's happened. When the woman has been degraded, her offspring also will be likewise, for like begets like. And when you convince the woman that she has a feeling of unworthiness, a feeling of put down, a feeling of resentment, a feeling of depression, her children will be likewise, and the world is evident that this has happened. That's why the second leading killer of teenagers all over the world is suicide, because their moms have been put down and put into disgrace by men who did not know, and religious men who did not know, evil men who did not know.
If God created man, why is the plight of the woman on his planet so remarkably grim? Why is it that some of you ladies scream that you are blessed and highly favored, but 12-year-old girls who are being raped right now in the Congo are not as favored? And for all of the other ladies who are screaming that there is some invisible spiritual battle that is going on, why would an all-powerful God allow evil to run his planet into ruin? I know. Right now you are screaming about the devil and demons and saying that the planet is evil because it belongs to the darker side. And the reason why you are blessed is because you, my dear, radiate so close to the light. And that light dwells in you, and only you, because you, dear listener, are chosen. Yes, you are chosen to be the light walking the earth, and the same entity that chose you, this same entity watched slavery happen for centuries. The God that chose you watched a 6-year-old get molested by her uncle. Yes, I understand. No, better yet, I overstand for all of you spiritualists out there that the God who chose you over the 6-year-old boy that a priest had sex with is the God that made you the light. Sure. There is a spiritual war going on, and that spiritual war only starts when you aim to get closer to this same God. Your increasing love for him and the light that you claim to walk in means an attack from him, an attack so strong that it will knock you right off your feet. Talks of the devil and demons getting into people to go after and attack the light. So odd, though. Why would a loving God do that? Wait. What was that? Oh, a test. Oh, I see. He needs to test you. He needs to test you so that you can show him that you are worthy of his love. But if you are already a light holder, why would there need to be continued tests? If God is all-knowing, wouldn't he already know how you will do on these performed tests, on these random tests? How weird is that? An all-knowing God that persists in giving his strongest soldiers their most tragic battles, all so that he can see how they will perform on a test that he already can see the outcome to. The reason why it was so easy to oppress women in religion is because women were deliberately kept out of high institutions of thought, and laws were made right under their noses to separate them from their offspring. This goes as far back to the Roman Empire, and the men who orchestrated this, the men who put this all together, knew that you, the woman, would conform. You as a woman would conform out of fear and out of wild vulnerability. Yes, being a mother makes you vulnerable, and this vulnerability is what keeps you and your thought processes occupied. How can you sit and ponder when you have babies in your arms and no one to protect them? fast forward a few thousand years, and any knowledge that you did show deemed you a heretic or a witch, and you were burned at the stake. Your oppression is deliberate, and your ignorance to this factor is deliberate as well. What man did to woman was give her lip service. The man said, this is what he said, I will tell her she is important because her womb is needed for my agenda, but I will treat her like shit and have the entire planet watch me do so. I will also have her participate in her own ruin, and the more obedient she is, the more exalted she is in front of me. The more silent she is, the more exalted she is in front of me. The more and more covered she is, the more exalted she is in front of me. The more invisible she is, the more agreeable she is, the more exalted she is in front of me. And you may very well walk around and declare yourself holy. Well, that sounds good because it sets you apart from other women that you kind of, look down your nose at. The reality is that you have been programmed on a master level. The reason why many women cannot decenter men is because they cannot decenter God. The same God that we spoke of earlier, who presents himself as a repeated John, who only pays attention to you when you are on your knees begging for relief. And what's ironic about this abusive relationship is that this same God you worship never hints to you that you, as an adult, are the operant power in your own life. And any bullshit that you got into and any bullshit that you got out of was your own doing. Yeah, that's the part he'll never tell you. You try so hard with men because you try even harder with God. The story of the greatest sacrifice on the planet, the story of Jesus, is actually a woman's story. It's your story. You are the one. You are the one that the world turned its back on. You are the one who bleeds. You are the one who weeps over the child that you cannot protect because of the laws that this male establishment put in order. It was always you. And instead of you investigating that, you double down and try harder. You search harder. You light more candles. You pray more. And you are attacked more. You are being attacked while sitting down, and another force can come to you and tell you to stand up. And you would fight that force and tell her to sit down with you and get attacked. This is the issue. The reason why you try so hard with men is because you try so hard with an invisible God that is abusive. And this invisible God, this God that men constructed to oppress you, oppresses you with your eyes wide open. And instead of you realizing that, you double down and you keep your mouth shut and you attack other people who try to give you information regarding the history of these things that men created. Yeah.